a clap. What's up guys, so last week I went through old song projects. More than 1,000 of you voted on my Instagram posts and the clear winner was number 3. Thus, I'm gonna try and make something out of that today, and this is a snippet of the final result. Now, I don't know if that sounded good or not, because I haven't made it yet, but make sure to follow me on Instagram to vote on future videos, and as always, one of the first 500 commenters will win a free mastering done by me. But I'll shut up now, let's dive into it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make a drop out of this break we have first. I have the vocal here. So let's try and come up with some sort of rhythm. Okay, so I came up with this, but it feels a bit too rushed, so I'm gonna rework it a bit. Okay, so I think I like this better. I have a lot of room to play here, so let's get the rest of the melody done. So I copied it over, and this is how it goes. And so on. So let's find some rhythm element. A clap. Okay, I'm gonna go into my sample packs, which you can download all free, no download gate whatsoever, in the description. Just a little plug. Let's see what will fit. No. Okay, I like this one. And now we need a kick. No. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the Z kick and clap, actually. So it sounds like this. Feels a bit too tight, so I'm gonna give the clap a bigger layer. The first will be long and the second will be a bit shorter, so it gives a bit of a groove. And let's make it pump by giving it some sidechain. Beef it up with some harsh distortion. Okay, so let's get in a pitch glide at the end of the bar, just to keep it grooving and moving. Okay, so now we need a bass line. Let's find the chords real quick to make that way easier. Next one would be up here. Then we copy it over like that and back down. It's not the original chord from the original project file. That sounded like this. It's a very weird and not functional chord, so switching up to something a bit simpler. I think I'm gonna try and play with the chords more when we head over to the build. But yeah, let's get a bass line going here. Okay, so the melody is playing F sharp, G sharp, A, and then back to G sharp. So I want to go for the root note of the chord for the bass line so that they play a chord together, which is D, E, F sharp, and back to an E. That sounds like this. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this init patch in Diva act as the bass. So I'm just removing the reverb, switching out some of the ADSR envelopes, and I'll add some distortion and reverb. Now we got a pretty fat sound already. Let's find a rhythm that plays along nicely with the vocal. Okay, I went for something really simple, just following along the lines of the vocal, so it sounds like this. Just gives me more space to fill up and have fun in between the notes. Add some sidechain and cut out the lows of the sound to give space for another bass sound. Okay, I'm gonna use this pretty fat sub, and that's gonna sound like this. Let's add some sidechain to that as well. So we have a pretty decent groove going. I want to add something to hit on the offbeat here. So I'm gonna find a tom to do that, I think. Okay, so that sounds like this. I'm gonna try and spend less than an hour on this because I have a deadline tomorrow for a remix I really have to do, and it's just makes it more intense and fun. I'm gonna switch out to tom, it just didn't sound good. I'm gonna add like a sound on top of that to make it sound less bad later. Okay, so I want to fill out the space a bit because it feels very empty right now still. So let's add some white noise playing over the vocal chop thing. Just a very clean noise, and I'm gonna chop it up to match the vocal chop. Okay, so we have that now. It sounds like this. Sounds a bit bad, so I'm gonna try and melt it in a bit with some sidechain and EQ. The kick feels a bit weak to me, so I'm gonna add some saturation and stuff like that to make it really punch through. Okay, to fill it out even more, I'm gonna add like a pluck synth to aid in bringing out the melody. I'm gonna look through here to see if I can find some perks. I use this a lot, I'm just gonna use it for now. And just slap on a lot of effects. So it went from sounding like this to this. And let's add the melody to it. There was a little bit too much sidechain, so I'm just pulling back that a bit to make the melody stand out more. And this is how it sounds with the extra plucky thing. Starting to sound pretty good. I want to fill it out with some reverse reverbs and just different effects. Okay, so I'm just putting in these reverse reverbs into. Okay, so this is how it sounds now with the reverses and everything. Starting to sound pretty good, so I want to fill out the spaces with some more melodics because it gets a bit boring since the melody is so long. Okay, so I've pulled up like a super saw sort of sound. Sounds like this. I've been really inspired by the American Boy remix by Brooks, so I want to try and get some of that electro influence. It's really cool how he uses the electro influences, so I want to try and bring some of that into here. Guys, I've just slapped on some reverb and some delay to make it sound a bit weirder and come up with this super... I'm trying to work on some melody. I'm gonna work a bit on that, get that right. Okay, so I've got this now. It's like, it sort of works, I like it, but it's not perfect. I would usually spend a lot more time on it, but we have to get going and keep going, so let's move on to the rest of the melody. And actually, at the end of the song here, I'm just gonna drop out all the elements, like the kick, the clap, and so forth. Just let that part breathe to kick in again in the next part. And then we're back in with some hi-hats and stuff. I'm gonna add that real quick. I'm gonna make a little quick fill here before the next part of the drop hits to really accentuate that it's a new part and give some space for the hi-hats to come in. So 2 sec. Guys, I just dragged in a hi-hat sample. I'm gonna make like a riser that continues into the drop. Maybe add some rides and stuff just to fill it up and make it the second part feel a bit more special. We're really low on time here, but I think it's gonna work out. Okay, so I have this little thing going in the background. Super basic, but it's just running there and you can barely hear it, but it adds some like attention, and I'm gonna add some rides that are also pitching up now. Okay, so I've got this going. The production overall feels a bit sloppy and not that punchy, but I actually want to try and differentiate the rhythm a bit because it's a bit stale. So on the first one, I'm going. I think it's sort of cool. I don't know if it's going to stay, but let's just do that quickly before we move on to the next thing. Okay, so it's a bit empty. We're at like 50 minutes now. I'm just gonna jump into the break and see what we can get done there really quickly. Okay, so we have this from the old FLP. Let's try and add some warm pad to it. Okay, so we have this sound very quickly done. Just for an analog retro machine thing. Let's add some pianos real quick. I'm just gonna add the Giant, pretty simple, classic, cinematic piano, and copy the chords. Okay, so I want the melody part to go one more time, but I do want the chords to change. I'm gonna see if I can change the chords real quick somehow. This is the last chord. I don't want it to go back down there, so I'm gonna try and just put it up an octave and see if we can change some of the chords as well. It would be easier if I had a piano here, but I'm gonna switch it over to more of a jazzy vibe on the chord. And maybe that works. Could be really uplifting if it's done right and it works. That would be really lucky. Then we can't go up there. I'm gonna put that down here and up here. That could actually work. Okay, so let's copy that over here. That could actually be really epic if we add some sort of rhythm element here. Okay, so I'm gonna find like a sort of breakbeat, beat, loop thing just to fill it up even more. Okay, so just a really quick one. It's sounds pretty epic and uplifting. That should be like an epic transition here. Hopefully it works with the new chord thing. That's epic. I love that. Should be done a bit better, but you kind of get the idea. It's gonna be cool, I think. Okay, so I've accentuated the next hit a bit, so we have this. Just makes the song move a bit. I think we have like 2 minutes left, so let's just make some quick build up here, add some effects. Guys, I just added lots of effects and the repeating note. This is gonna be the quickest build up ever, but I just gotta get this done real quick. Okay, so I'm super quickly gonna pitch the vocal down so that the drop hits a bit harder. And okay, let's do it. Okay, so I have to put the volume up a bit when it drops because the break was way too loud. And I think this should be it. Okay, let's check. 1 hour and 10 minutes. We started a bit late because of some recording stuff, so it's pretty much an hour. Let's hear what we have. Okay, so that was it. I'm gonna be giving away all the samples and the full track or the finished track, the previous track, so you can work on it yourself. And all the samples will be in the description, so go get that. Follow me on Instagram for more content and good karma. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.